We'll run into a couple of old pals today. Well, insofar as Urko can be called a pal. A couple of apes that we've met before, put it that way. We haven't seen Urko in a few episodes, which makes me hope Mark Leonard was still getting paid. I find myself wondering if he got that job on the strength of his voice. He sounds like Urko, which is to say bombastic and arrogant, always sure of himself until you look into his eyes. The rider in red is on Urko's horse. The other horse is matching him stride for stride.
Relax.
Huh? Yes, Urko.
After all, it's only a horse race.
With half my horses and half my land bet on the result.
Well, think of how rich you'll be if you win.
If you insist on the race, you make all the arrangements, you demand the bet. Have you ever lost a race to any prefect?
There's always a first time.
True, it's not likely to happen though, for one simple reason.
My horse is leading.
Urko cheats. Looks like his horse has this one in the bag.
The first time. Shut up.
Or not. So glad he's a gracious loser.
The horse threw a shoe.
Who shod that horse?
The blacksmith.
I want that horse shod in time for the next race in the village of Benton. If this happens again, I won't just kill the blacksmith, I'll kill you too.
So very gracious in defeat. The blacksmith is Martin. He has a teenage son named Gregor.
It's not necessary. You work for the little food I've given you.
It wasn't necessary for you to give us the food.
By the way, he has some visitors staying with him for a while.
I never talked to an ape before.
Really?
I mean, well, they talked at me, you know, giving me orders, things like that. But never just like you and I are talking. Saying the things you feel like saying.
I think you'll find that Galen is definitely out of the ordinary for an ape.
Well, would you believe that it was many years before I spoke to a human? Except for giving orders.
Yeah, well, why should apes give orders? Why do we have to obey?
Well, there are two answers to that. Mine and the authorities. Seeing mine isn't backed up by bullets, I think you should listen to the authorities.
I can give him the basic answer. Humans destroyed the world, whereupon apes rose to dominate. They like having a world that isn't getting destroyed. They don't intend to let humans have another shot at doing a more thorough job next time. This was only Megan King's second television appearance. We saw him once before in Secrets of ISIS. He had to take a hiatus for a couple of years after a car accident, but as far as we know, he's still around and mostly doing stage work these days. They hear Urko's group riding in, so our friends hide, and father and son go out to meet them.
This is Urko's favorite horse. He's thrown a shoe. I'll take care of him well, sir. You will if you want to keep on living.
What's with the threat? He said he'll take care of it. He doesn't need persuading. It's his job. Hello?
There have been reports of a young human riding a horse near here.
Human? Riding a horse? Well, he must be crazy. Why would anyone take a chance on being shot just to ride a horse?
Perhaps he's crazy, as you say. In any case, he'll be caught. And you know what the law is for humans riding.
Yes. The penalty for humans doing anything is the same. Ride a horse, death. Pee on a tree, death. Sneeze 3 times, death. Jump a gorilla and break his arrogant neck, death. That one may be worth the risk. And by the way, it was Gregor. He got a little careless and someone saw him. Martin is giving him a good reaming about riding at all.
I can't prop...
Tiger scorpion! It's a tiger scorpion! I was sitting down.
There he goes. Tourniquet.
Right.
Rope. Give me a rope.
It's no use.
What do you mean it's no use?
Without an antidote, the sting of the tiger scorpion is fatal.
So there's an antidote. Let's get some.
Where do we get an antidote?
The clinic in town.
I'll go.
It's 5 miles. By the time you get there and back, Galen will be dead.
Barton, I'm gonna steal one of your horses.
You'd be caught before you got halfway there.
Maybe not.
I'll go.
Oh, you won't. If anybody's gonna take a chance on riding for that stuff, it's gonna be Alan or me. Galen's our friend.
Right.
I'd like him to be mine.
Gregor knows the area better than they do, and he knows a back way to get to town. He has everybody over a barrel, including his dad. He makes the ride and ties the horse to some bushes just outside of the village.
He just hadn't have moved. The tiger scorpion never stings if you don't move.
That makes sense, but I see one problem. You gotta know it's there. I doubt Galen saw it before it stung him.
Remember what I said. Stay off of the lake.
No, excuse me, but my brother's been bitten by a tiger scorpion.
How long ago?
It just happened a couple of minutes ago, right on down the road.
Are you telling the truth? If it's been any longer, the antidote won't help.
I am telling the truth.
Wait here. This is to be given by mouth as soon as possible.
Thank you.
Okay, that was easy.
We'll make camp here. We could stay in the village, but there are too many loudmouth humans here for the race.
Okay, that wasn't easy.
I think it was the blacksmith's son, but I'm not sure.
Shoot him!
He missed Gregor. He didn't miss the horse. While Alan helps dig the bullet out of its shoulder, Pete gives the antidote to Galen. Then the posse comes and takes Gregor away.
Here's your new saddle, Prefect Barlow.
You'll find it very good. Your horse will run well under it.
It's no use. We have no chance of winning the race. Orko's horse will win as usual.
It doesn't seem fair.
Fair? When has Orko ever been fair? Look at the way he transferred me here from Kamak. Yes, and the stakes. Half my lands and half my horses if I lose. And of course I'll lose.
We met Barlow way back in episode 2. He must have done something to get on Urko's bad side because he hates it here. He wants to go back to Kamak, but as we know, Urko gets his jollies making others miserable. And taking half their stuff under false pretenses.
Mark, Galen's gonna be fine. Now look, Pete and I talked it over.
Yeah, we want to help Gregor.
If there was any way, anything, do you think I'd be standing here working?
We can go in and talk to the prefect. We'll tell him Gregor was only riding that horse to save an ape's life.
The prefect will not listen to humans.
Well, then we'll try something else.
We're gonna go and look around. Vent is a small village, isn't it? I mean, we don't need identification.
And you, Prefect Barlow, lets humans come and go freely.
Barlow.
Barlow?
Galen.
What are you doing here? You're supposed to be in bed.
Oh, no, I'm fine. Tell me, is that the same Barlow who used to be prefect at Kamak?
It is indeed. Galen says, let's go see him. But the boys are objecting. He may be recovering, but Galen's in no shape to walk all the way to the village.
An ape of my wealth and position, with 2 human servants, walk. Huh. I can borrow a horse, can't I, Martin?
Right away.
I think they sometimes forget that he's still a member of the dominant species, and they're not.
You 2 walk, and please, be sure to maintain a respectful distance behind me.
And he's gonna milk it for all it's worth. They'll maintain a respectful distance, though most of that respect is for the back end of the horse and what tends to come out of it, not necessarily for the rider.
There is absolutely nothing I can do.
Oh, but Barlow, he saved my life.
Galen was stung by a scorpion.
I'd have died if Gregor hadn't come to town to get that antidote.
And he did it for one of your own. Now, if you can get to Zaius and tell him that.
You suggest I appeal to Zaius because he saved the life of an outlaw?
You don't exactly have to put it that way.
Zaius doesn't have to know which ape he saved. It should be enough that he saved an ape. He starts musing that it's a wonder the horse didn't throw Gregor. Humans are incapable of riding horses.
Barlow, I grew up on horses. I've been riding horses since I was 7.
No. Humans can't ride like apes.
Hey, look, for what it's worth, Alan's about as good a rider as anybody in this whole world.
You telling the truth?
My friends don't lie.
Would you be willing to prove that your skill is not only talk?
What about Gregor?
Let me see how you ride first. Then we'll talk about Gregor.
These apes love their legends and assumptions about humans, don't they? They may have avoided the human tendency to destroy themselves, but human traits like bigotry are alive and well.
Never been ridden, right?
Even without a rider, he runs like the wind, but he's a killer. No ape has been able to ride him.
Forget it.
He said he could ride a horse. He didn't say he was an expert at breaking them. There's a big difference. But this is Barlow. You don't take anything he says at face value. The question, what's the catch, is your friend when you're dealing with him.
All right, I'll do it.
Good. Saddle him up, Martin.
How? They can't even get him to stand still. If they had enough control to put a saddle on him, they probably wouldn't need Alan. But suddenly Woda has a saddle on him. I'm guessing magic. Okay, so he is a bronco buster when he needs to be. Once he gets control of the horse, they take off running. Barlow isn't impressed. He's floored.
You're not as tough as you thought you were.
What a beautiful animal. Good riding for a human.
Thank you.
I never saw a horse go so fast.
Maybe that's because you've never seen a human jockey before.
I have a proposition to make to you.
Gee, I wonder what it is. He says, if you ride this horse in a race against the fastest horse in the land and win, I'll set Gregor free. He forgot to tell him who this fastest horse in the land belongs to.
Isn't that convenient?
Excuse me. Did you know who Urko is?
Yes, sir.
I just saw him. Does he come to town often?
No, sir. Only for something important like the big race.
Oh.
I won't interfere with your departure in any way.
I think Galen knows now, and he's a little upset with his old friend Barlow.
Barlow! What is this I hear? Are you seriously going to use a human as a jockey in the race?
I have received permission from Zaius.
Ha! You're a bigger fool than I thought. All Zaius has done is to make certain that your horse will lose to mine.
We shall see.
Since he's so confident, Urko has an idea.
In that case, you won't mind if we raise the stakes just a little bit.
How much?
Well, instead of half your horses, all of them, if you lose, and all your lands.
And if I win?
What do you want?
Transfer me back to K-Mac.
That's what you want.
You gotta love how Barlow doesn't feel free to say no. But he always was a bit of a marshmallow.
I'm determined to win this race. Everything I have depends on it.
You're going to win. When Urko sees Alan on your horse, he's going to kill him. And us, too.
No, I don't understand you. Don't you feel guilty about tricking us?
Absolutely.
Well, that's a big help.
Well, what was I to do? I was forced into this race, and my entire future depends on it.
Yeah, you get your future, and they lose theirs. But at least he feels bad about it.
And I used to boast about honor among apes.
Oh, speaking of honor, I don't like to spread gossip, but I've heard talk that Urko's horse doesn't always win by fair means.
Is this designed to cheer us up?
I'm only trying to be a big help to us both.
He's been a big enough help already. Our friends aren't surprised that Urko would cheat. They know his nature. Well, if we're going to make this into an anything-goes race, Pete and Galen had better get started on some anythings of their own.
Make it deep and muddy. I wish I could help you, but we've got to think of appearances.
Yeah, right.
No, I mean, if someone saw me doing something like that, they'd say, "Why are you doing such a thing? Such work is for humans." Otherwise, I would be right in there giving you a hand.
Hey, will you cut it out? You love it.
And Pete would love it just as much if the roles were reversed. The pit is on Urko's side of the race course and will never come up again. Too bad elsewhere, Urko and his band are preparing something similar in Barlow's lane. But this isn't our only trick.
Sometimes I do not understand you at all. First of all, you have me carve a spool with notches in it, and now...
What are you complaining about? I'm the one who's doing all the hard work. You're terrible.
In generic terms, we call it a noisemaker. More specifically, that's a rattle. It's a child's toy that's going to help save Martin's child. Alan is teaching Martin how to make the horseshoe super thin and light. Every gram makes a difference. Urko is still setting traps. One of his boys will be in a tree to throw a net onto Barlow's rider, and then there's the big finish.
Zilo, you know you're to be in place 50 yards before the end of the race. If the human is winning when he passes you, shoot him.
Of course. The human will surely lose the race. Shouldn't I shoot him anyway? Just for riding?
Zaius has given his permission this one time. Anyway, it isn't important enough to kill the human just because he loses the race. We still have the other young human to serve as an example. Urko, the blacksmith.
He's bringing Urko's horse to him with the fresh shoes, and not the thin ones that Alan had him put on Woda.
I can be of help to you. I also shod the horse Barlow a race against you. I know how to make sure you'll win.
Is there any doubt about my winning the race?
Yes. Barlow's horse Woda's very fast. But I know how to fix his shoes with wedges that'll cause great pain and slow him down. I know where to put them, and it wouldn't be found out until too late.
If you want to pull some kind of dirty trick and betray Alan, find a way that doesn't hurt the horse. Of course, in return, he wants Gregor set free. Urko agrees, as if Martin can trust him, but he's going to anyway.
Release the human from the cage. At the start, what if the blacksmith is lying? What is done to a human who tries to run away and escape?
As I said, and of course the other rider will be shot no matter what, if he's ahead, before the finish line. If he loses, after the finish line. I think we all saw that coming. Now do you understand that thing, Galen? He's keeping Urko distracted enough that he can't get a good look at the rider's face.
wonderful jockey, you're human. Except you can't sit on a horse.
Hey, that's great. You look awful. Urkel would never recognize you.
Alan doesn't care about that right now. He wants to know what's wrong with Woda.
Here. So that's it. Hey, Pete, look at this. Give me a knife.
Well, what's holding up the race?
Races never start on time.
Well, this one does.
Get that one.
Start the race.
Get ready for the start.
Same way.
Yes, he's going to start the race when only one contestant is ready. These are Urkel rules, and Barlow won't challenge them. One of the gorillas fires a shot, and the one-horse race is on.
Good start.
Better than either one of them expected, at any rate.
You put those wedges in the horse's shoes. Why?
You didn't take him out.
Yes, of course I did.
I promised Urko I'd make Verdun lose if Gregor was spared.
Alan's riding in this race to save your son.
He can't. Urko has a gorilla there to kill him if he wins.
And you didn't tell them about this instead of going to Urkel because we watched them go through the course with Urko's pit, the net, and all the rest, but Woda really is the faster horse, and Alan really is the better rider, so coming to the finish line, they're neck and neck. Urko signals his shooter to be ready, but that rattle isn't the only distraction Pete and Galen have available.
Don't move.
Oh, I won.
That's Verdun. Verdun, kill him. Kill him. Verdun, kill him. Kill him.
He's not moving. Remember what Martin said about tigers, scorpions, and moving? Damon knows that too.
That was Verdun. Your jockey, your human jockey was Verdun the fugitive.
Is that a fact? Oh, well, it has nothing to do with our bet.
Get the horses. Follow them.
Yeah, right. They just watched that horse outrun Urko's finest, and they're gonna go catch him.
Did Barlow's horse win the race?
Yes, now you can run.
Why should I run if I'm supposed to be free?
You run because I tell you to run.
No, something's wrong.
Move out of there, or I'll shoot you right where you are.
He ain't shooting nobody because we've seen Pete outfight gorillas before. This one is no exception. Gregor is free and alive, and they're making their escape. Urko is having one of those days when nothing goes his way. I think our friends were happy to help with that.
Pete!
They have a good head start, so they make their way to a narrow bridge. At least in the end, he might get to keep Woda. I don't see Woda ever allowing Urko to ride him, though. He has his principles.
Have you seen the fugitive?
Yes, with you, when he won the race.
Well, if I thought you knew anything about this beforehand...
Oh, how could I dream that a fugitive would dare to ride a horse under Urko's very nose?
I don't trust you, Barlow.
Oh, Urko, I'm an honorable ape. I don't lie, I don't break promises, and I always pay my debts when I lose.
The payment has been arranged.
Yes, I know. I'm on my way back to Kamak.
I don't see Barlow ever riding Woda either. Way too much horse for him.
I heard what you said to Urko. You don't lie. Ha! Perhaps not, but you certainly do know how to tie the truth into a knot.
I also said I don't break promises. Where are they? Aha. You two may come and live with me in Kamak. There you'll be safe. But you are not to ride on horses.
Yes, Prefect.
When I'm watching.
Thank you, Prefect.
Barlow isn't hard to figure out. He really does just want to finish his days in peace and relative obscurity. To that end, the truth can be a flexible thing for him. But he has a code of honor, and it's not hard to see that Urko's lack of a real code of honor is why he doesn't like Urko. I called him a marshmallow, and when it comes to things like standing up to Urko, he is. But he's less of a marshmallow and more of a fox. He's sly. He has his own way of rebelling when he gets the chance, and the rebellee may never even know it. I stand corrected. I continue to enjoy this show. The production is better than one might expect for a TV version. The acting is great, and the stories do keep you watching. We cheer any time Urko gets thwarted like this. Roddy McDowell's occasional antics as Galen are a lot of fun, and John Hoyt really brought Barlow into my heart when he was taunting Urko. As for Urko, there's something he should have learned as a child. Cheaters never prosper.
Friend.
Friend.